Jim Farney is an associate professor over at the University of Regina. Jim, a lot of names on that ballot to be the next conservative leader of Canada. As you're watching how things have unfolded,
right,
what do you think we'll see happen Saturday night when that first ballot comes in?
a lot of surprises. The first ballot itself won't be that surprising. It'll look like a regular campaign, and my expectation that Maxime Bernier's been polling at between 25 and 30%. He'll be in first. Andrew Scheer's been sitting at around second, around 20, so he'll be in second, and then Aaron O'Toole's been down around 15. So I'd expect to see those as kind of the first three stories. The odd thing is that none of those numbers are high enough to be leader. You'll need to be over the 50% line, and that's where having all the candidates comes into play. We really don't know how to add up people's second choices, really.
Andrew Scheer, a Saskatchewan MP who is polling well right behind Maxime Bernier. Are you surprised at all to see him do so well in this race?
Not really. I mean, Scheer, outside of Saskatchewan, is remembered for being speaker. He's kind of positioned himself as the person who had a big responsibility during the Harper era, but was never part of the decision-making of cabinet. So he's responsible as a personality, but not at fault for any of the bad decisions or mistakes that a government just makes. And he's positioned himself inside the party as kind of a consensus candidate. He's friendly to social conservatives. He himself is religious, but he's not going to push those issues. He's pro-free market, but he's not libertarian the way Bernier is. He's for Canadian values, but wants to embrace immigrants. So he's kind of put himself in the middle of any of the fault lines that might have happened in the party. And I would think as tomorrow night goes on, that should mean that he picks up or catches up a little bit perhaps to where Bernier's at.
Are there some specific issues or values that differentiate him from Maxime Bernier?
Bernier's taken a position very much kind of call it a libertarian, call it a very strong free market stance. And the most noteworthy one on this is for a Quebec candidate. He's come out very strong against supply management for dairy and poultry. And he's kind of kept that set of positions right down the line very consistently. Scheer's hedged his bets a little bit on a lot of that stuff. He's tried, like I said, to be a bit more of a consensus person, to say, well, really, we should look at it, but I don't want to be doctrinaire on, say, supply management. And I think that will probably play to his favor, because if you think of the other candidates, maybe folks who haven't done so well, a lot of them have really tried to be single issue folks, either immigration or the economy. Michael Chom's democratic reform pitch, which we've kind of not talked about at all, didn't go very well. And Bernier's really been the only kind of commitment candidate who's really grown over the course of the campaign.
What would it mean for Saskatchewan to see an MP from here be the next leader of the Conservative Party?
It would be, I think, an interesting thing, and we would suddenly find ourselves between the Leader of the Opposition and Mr. Wald to kind of be the home of the two most conservative politicians in Canada. That would be a bit of a surprise, I think. It would mean a bit more of a Western focus, but Scheer had spent a long time in Ottawa as a youth growing up, and he's tried to leverage that a little bit during the campaign, that yes, I'm a Westerner, but I've got these Eastern roots and I'm bilingual and stuff. And I think he would try to use Saskatchewan as kind of an easy point to be in the middle of. You know, I'm a Westerner, but I'm not from Calgary, I think has kind of been a big part of his pitch. But yeah, of course, we would get more attention. We'd see issues that matter here play out more. You know, I'm thinking of things like pipelines and resource exports. We'd get more attention, but of course, this is a race to be leader of the opposition at this moment, not prime minister.
Thanks for your time today, Jim.
Thanks, Jill.